Christians, we talk about fear a lot. There's lots of Bible verses about fear. We're always talking about, hey, you shouldn't be afraid. There's lots of verses. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of this. Don't be afraid of that. All kind of things. Don't be afraid. And the reason it's constantly saying don't be afraid is because we're always afraid. We're just always afraid. I don't know about you. I'm afraid a lot. It's easy to be afraid. If anyone doesn't look afraid, they're either pretending or they've been through something so many times, they're like, you know what? God's got this. I've been through this quite a bit, and I'm pretty confident in God. Those are the only two options. Either they're faking it completely, or I guess there's some other options. They might just be a little bit loopy. That could be another option. But we see here, I think that fear, we have to learn to actually embrace our fears, because fear alerts us to when there are dangers and concerns and when we need to respond and care about situations. So fear is important. You're going to feel afraid. Okay, it's impossible to get rid of that. But the Christian message is, over and over again, there are things we need to learn to have self-control over our fear, not to make decisions based upon it, not to be ruled by it. But also there are things that we should not be afraid about. There are things we should not fear. You know, we do. We fear all kinds of things. We fear failure. We fear disagreement, disappointment. We fear conflict with people. We fear losing things that we love. We're afraid to fully follow God, because if I follow God, if I say yes to God, I'm going to have to say no to this other thing in the world that I really love that I'm going to have to say no to because I'm going to have to say yes to God. We're afraid of losing that. Maybe we're afraid of death. All kinds of things we can fear. And Nehemiah is an amazing example to us because he faces his fears head on. He faces these fears head on. You know what feels really good? Hitting that beautiful like button. It's just sitting right there, all alone with nothing to do. Help it live to its fullest potential. You know what else feels really good? Embracing that subscribe button. It's like a puppy begging for attention. Just showing it a little bit of love goes a long way. Like and subscribe.